Hello friends and welcome back for another episode of Indie Impressions. My name is Nick and today we're going to be checking out a very early version of something called Tale of the Tildebeest by developer AndyMan404, designed for the Arbitrary Game Jam 19 as a non-compo entry. Now I'm going to be totally upfront with you. When I said this is a very early version, this is about as early as a version of anything can get. Honestly, I'm covering this one primarily because I really like the premise and I love the aesthetics and the presentation and the attention to detail. So we're going to get right into it. There's not a whole lot to really go over other than I just want to kind of explore and show you what's on offer on this one and kind of get this on your radar in case this ends up becoming a more fully fleshed out product, because I would absolutely be interested in playing a lot more than the couple of minutes that we're going to get to wander around here in this typography-laden landscape. So let's click to start and we'll be presented with the Tale of the Tildebeest. The civilization of Gramaria crumbled as the text message pandemic swept the land. The outbreak left hordes of incoherent cell phone zombies in its wake. So press enter to continue. You are the lone survivor on a journey to find the fabled last bastion of grammar. You are following a herd of wild Tildebeest on their mysterious migration, rumored to pass your destination. Level 1. Find the Tildebeest herd and follow them out of the forest. Defend against zombies. So our primary goal here, and really our only goal, is to have a little bit of a wander around, take in the sights and sounds, and try and extinguish any zombies before they get to our herd of beautiful Tildebeest. So what we have in our defense is exclamations. We can exclaim in the general direction of all of the things that pose us any kind of harm. Now you'll see there's a brilliant day-night cycle of this going through. You'll watch the colors change and everything is just going to really have this wonderful sense of radiance about it. And of course, I'm sure you've noticed already, well, the primary thing here is the textural typography available on every single surface. And I think it kind of started probably with this premise that the Tildebeest was such a good idea and kind of a silly play on words. And then actually it kind of looks like a thing, right? I mean, it's got the tildes all over it. And it kind of just lends you to creating a whole world around the idea of covering all the surfaces and typography. I've seen this done in one other game, and I can't actually remember the title of it at this point. It was, I think, a LD game, and I don't remember too much else about it, but, like, every surface was just made up of typography, and I don't know, for some reason, that really is quite appealing and quite funny. So, as I shoot these zombies, they exclaim in their own general way, well, kind of text messages at me. I'm knocking the @ signs at them, or out of them, and too easy, it said. And of course, you're probably noticing, of course, the day-night cycle. We've gone into midday, and all of the radiance is replaced by this gorgeous white stark look. There's even a little bit of dynamic lighting going on here, as I'm sure you probably noticed as well. There's not really all that much here. Look, the Tildebeest are climbing on top of each other because they're wacky dudes. But there's not a whole lot to see other than just to kind of get a look around at this landscape. My goodness, what are you guys doing? You're just going to climb over the trees now. But really, I just wanted to show you this day-night cycle because it is so pretty. The developer said in the README area below where I was downloading the game that it's like this was essentially the focus in the time that they had to work on this for the competition. Essentially just became being transfixed by this color transition, and I kind of don't blame the person at all for that, because these colors are incredibly vivid and bright. I don't think I've hardly ever seen anything quite like that before. So the sun is setting, the moon is going to pop up on the other end, and this is when we're presented with the Adult Swim style message. Sorry, ran out of time in the jam, check back again in the future. There's even a little link at the beginning when we started up that says essentially, like, you know, here's a link that you can go to just grab any of the newest versions or any updates that happen to be available. And I would be very interested to see what other kind of structures might be represented by typography in the future, or what other kind of, you know, ways that this interesting premise could manifest into actual gameplay. I mean, I'm kind of fine with just defending the herd from zombies for a while and just seeing where that goes. But I would like to see if there was other twists and turns that the story could take, and I have a feeling that there would be. So they've all sort of dogpiled onto this one neon-covered tree here, getting almost like a blacklight reactive sense of everything, which is another thing. I don't think that was intentional, but I think a lot of these color schemes do come across that way. So it takes something that could be rather bland. I mean, if you just rendered this as grass and tree textures with some clouds and sky with a skybox that goes over top, like, I think 95% of the charm would be lost here. and I think it would also do a terrible job of reinforcing the general theme. So in this case, we've got something that's kind of thematically consistent and coherent, as well as interesting, engaging, and has a good sense of character about it. So honestly, in terms of potential, I don't really know what else you could ask for than that, other than just to hope and wait to see if there's going to be more. And I certainly will cover this again if there is. I just wanted to see if we could get to a point where the sun would come up again, so I want to see the transition back to daylight. Oh, there's all the dead bodies off in the distance. I was wondering if it was intended that we would kind of follow the Tildebeest as the day wore on, and then it would kind of time itself so that way when we got to where the zombies would show up, it would start to become night, where they become much more visually obvious against the backdrop. Because actually in the daytime, they kind of blended in a little bit with the ground around us, and honestly, they posed basically no threat. I mean, I could run up and shoot them all long before the Tildebeest ever reached them. But still, knowing they're out there, I guess a little bit on the spooky side. I'm imagining a sea of them off in every direction. You know, we go to some urban landscape and like basically a tidal wave of zombies shows up. What is this tiny little cube doing here? Look at that, isn't that cute? This is just a random cube. So we'll just watch the transition one more time as the sun comes up. See if I can get a good angle. Well, I want to show the sun coming up, but also the landscape. I guess I kind of went in the wrong direction for that, huh? Unfortunate that I can't toggle away this message, because it's a really pretty landscape we're presented with. Unfortunately, there's a bunch of text kind of marring that. But again, this will not be the case later. And you know, the music that was chosen here very well corresponds with the presentation too. So the whole thing really comes across very, very nicely. Look how radiant and brilliant that is. That is just beautiful. See, this is the power of color, guys. Just a little bit of artistic reverence can take a common, sort of simple idea and elevate it to something much, much more transcendent and interesting. And, you know, my hat goes off to this developer. Really, really well done stuff. So, I mean, I don't know how much longer I can really gush here, because I've pretty much covered everything there is to say. But Tale of the Tildebeest is definitely going to be on my radar for future episodes. So I hope to revisit this one. I hope you enjoyed this little look at it. And if you're interested, of course, there's going to be a link so you can download this yourself. And, of course, if you find this video in the future, go ahead and check for updates, because there very well may be a newer version by the time you see this. Give it a download, let me know what you think in the comments, and of course, leave a like on the video if you don't mind, because that helps me out a whole bunch. And you can come on back tomorrow for another episode of Indie Impressions. They go up every single day without exception, so I look forward to bringing you plenty more in the future. And of course, if you're interested in finding out about a new, interesting, artistic, unique, or original indie game every single day, make sure you subscribe to the channel. I'll see you all tomorrow, and thanks so much for watching. Have a great night, everybody.